think we've met. I'm Vic Reynolds.
You're doing Micah Rush. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Mike Rush. Is that right?
Micah.
Micah. Good.
Yes,
Nice to
sir.
meet you. You with Army CID, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm in the local office.
All right.
I'm pretty short guy.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm Vic Reynolds. I'm the director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. I'm joined up here at front by a number of folks, so if you'll give me just a moment, indulge me, I'll take a moment to introduce some of these folks. We have Ms. Kimberly Schwartz, who will be speaking in a moment. Ms. Schwartz is with the District Attorney's Office that covers the Chattahoochee Circuit here in this county. We're very honored to have with us Sheriff Hank Lynch from Chattahoochee County. On behalf of Army CID, we have both Micah Rush and Scott Walls. We have a number of GBI personnel with us today. Standing up here with me is Special Agent in Charge Joe Chestnut from Region 3. Region 3 covers Chattahoochee County. We have a retired Special Agent in Charge, Mr. Gary Rothwell, who works with us at the Cold Case Unit from the Bureau. We also have the GBI agent who was originally assigned to this particular case, Mr. Jennings White. We're very honored to have him with us today. In the back of the room, Deputy Director Chris Hosey and Inspector Terry Howard are with us as well. So thank you, all these ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. I'm very honored, very pleased to announce that on March 28, 2022, a Chattahoochee grand jury indicted Mr. Marcellus McCluster, age 64, formerly of Richland, Georgia, for the 1982 murder of Renee Dawn Blackmore, age 20, of Arizona. Ms. Blackmore was a United States Army private stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. She disappeared on the way back to her barracks in Columbus on the night of April the 29th, 1982. Almost a month later, her wallet and sweater were found on a roadside here near Casetta. On June 28, 1982, Ms. Blackmore's remains were discovered off of a logging road a few miles further south in Chattahoochee County. She had been killed by a shotgun blast. The United States Army CID and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation identified McCluster as a possible offender within a year, but the original investigation eventually stalled. In late 2020, the GBI established the agency's cold case unit, composed of retired GBI agents. Blackmore's death was an initial focus of this unit, which worked with Army CID, the Chattahoochee County Sheriff's Office, the Office of the District Attorney, along with active GBI agents to develop this case further. The resulting indictment of McCluster includes one count of malice murder of Ms. Blackmore and alternative counts of felony murder concerning her death. GBI agents subsequently served McCluster with an arrest warrant at the Georgia Department of Corrections facility in Augusta, Georgia, where he is currently serving a life sentence for an unrelated 1983 Stewart County murder conviction. His arraignment will be here in Chattahoochee County, and it's scheduled for April the 25th, 2022. Needless to say, as director of this agency, I'm extremely proud of the work done by GBI's cold case unit and the active agents in Region 3, along with our partners, Army CID, the Sheriff's Department, and especially Ms. Schwartz of the DA's office for working with us in this process. I'm going to turn the mic over to Ms. Schwartz now on behalf of the DA's office, and afterwards I'll be available for some limited questions. I cannot get into the facts of this matter, but if you have any questions concerning the cold case unit or how we work together with active agents and partners, I'll be more than happy to address those. Ms. Schwartz.
Good afternoon, and thank all of you for coming today and for your interest in this case. There is no statute of limitations for murder, and that's because out of all the crimes on all the books, this is the one crime that takes from the victim that most fundamental right that we all have, which is the right to live out the rest of our lives that we've been given. We don't know what Renee Blackmore's life would have looked like. We know that she didn't get to celebrate her 21st birthday. But we can't know what accomplishments she might have celebrated. We know that she would have been 59 years old if she could have been with us today. But we don't know who she might have loved, what relationships she might have built, what dreams she might have realized. All of those things got extinguished by a blast from a cheap shotgun about 2 miles from the middle of nowhere down in South Chattahoochee County 40 years ago. There is no expiration date on that kind of evil. And there is no point in time when that crime is too stale to bring the perpetrator to justice, assuming that the evidence is there. And because of the really good work from the folks that are here today, as well as many others who came before them, we feel like we do have that evidence. The grand jury of Chattahoochee County agreed with that proposition last week, and we look forward to presenting that evidence in court later this year. On behalf of Interim District Attorney Shanika Terry, we appreciate the chance to work on this case and look forward to continuing to work on it and getting it ready for trial. Again, because this is an open case, it's not appropriate for us to talk really in detail about facts or evidence. But what I really hope is that all of you will take the opportunity to talk a little more with Director Reynolds about the cold case unit. These agents are doing some phenomenal work statewide. I think it's something that not a lot of citizens of Georgia know about, and they should, and it's something of which they can be very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schwartz. Thank you, folks. Anything you may want to ask question-wise? If you want to speak anything on behalf of Army CID, you're welcome to. You sure?
Yes, sir.
All right. I didn't mean to jump in front of you there. Anything I can answer? Yes, ma'am.
Talking about the cold case unit and this particular case, there's been a lot of questions around some other cold cases that have happened in this area. Is that something y'all are looking into in correlation with Marcellus? I know you guys can't talk facts, but just as the cold case unit, are y'all looking into those as well?
I will tell you this, that this is still an active, open investigation, and it's by no means over. Anything else?
You told us that she went missing near the barracks in Columbus, so that was on the base.
Yeah, that's where she was stationed.
Okay, and so she went missing from there.
She was on her way back to those barracks on that evening and ended up disappearing that night of April 29th, 1982.
Okay, and do we know if she's from Columbus?
She's from Arizona.
Arizona, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned that some of the agents in the cold case unit are retired agents. Were any of them working on this case previously, like back in the 80s?
That's a great question. In this particular case, we're very fortunate, very blessed to actually have with us the gentleman who was initially assigned to this case, Agent Jennings White, who's with us. Jennings, raise your hand. He just a great agent for the Bureau and decided to come with us today to be here. We were honored to have him stand up with us. He's not working with us on the cold case unit, although I may give him an application before we leave here today. But Gary Rothwell, behind me, a retired special agent in charge from the Bureau. Raise your hand, Gary, back there. Gary is one of the retired agents assigned to the cold case unit. I don't believe he was initially assigned to this case, were you, Gary?
A year later.
Year later, okay. And so he has some history and, as we sometimes call it, some skin in the game on this case. And what works about these cases is that these cold case agents work a case, but they work hand in hand in conjunction with active agents. I can't say enough. Joe, I know Joe's kind of doesn't want me to do this, but you raise your right hand. Joe Chestnut. Joe is the special agent in charge of this region. Chattahoochee County he covers it. He and his people cover this county, he's a bloodhound, and he worked hand in hand with this cold case unit to get us where we're at today. I don't have the words to tell you how proud of the work, how proud I am of the work that Special Agent in Charge Chestnut has done, along with the retired Special Agent in Charge Rothwell. They work together very closely, along with a number of other agents in this case. And there's, having years of experience as a district attorney and having seen cold cases and what the results are and how much it means to a family, how it provides closure, even in a terrible, sad situation of this nature, makes it all worthwhile. I think our public affairs folks will be able to give you statements today from Ms. Blackmore's mother, And if you just read that statement, I think you can sense why these gentlemen behind me, ladies and gentlemen behind me, do what they do. Yes, ma'am.
And can you walk us a little bit through the process of cracking these cold cases and kind of how long this process took for y'all?
Sure. You know, when we developed this cold case unit, there was a process they worked through, and for the sake of a better phrase, what we call triaging cases. There's a number of cold case units all around the state, and they have a process where they look at cases, make some determination from an evidentiary value, what we believe is solvable. You don't have a crystal ball and you never can predict, but there's ways you can look at cases and say this one may be more solvable than the next. That could be for a number of reasons. It could be for evidentiary value, things of that nature, that of pieces of evidence that may exist. And so those agents, very experienced agents, make that determination. Once they do, they begin looking through the case file. They may do a number of things. They may re-interview people. They may run additional forensic tests. You know, we have worked with our crime lab to say whatever they need, we want you to do, because we believe it's that important. So they work through a process based on their experience of what they believe is solvable, and they go about trying their best to make that happen. Yeah. Joe has some pictures. I'll ask Special Agent Chestnut to step up here and share some of those with you today.
So this is the photograph we have of Miss Blackmore at the time of her death. This is just before she entered the United States Army.
Everybody got that? Okay,
Good.
Thank you all. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you. Guys, thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.